Dad, we sold your lake house. The words had barely left Olivia Bennett's mouth when silence filled the phone. For several seconds, her father said nothing. Then his voice came back, low and shaken. "What did you just say, Olivia?" Olivia stared through the rain-covered window of her Chicago apartment. "I said, we sold the lake house." "We?" Her father's voice suddenly hardened. "Olivia, I never gave anyone permission to sell that house." Her coffee cup nearly slipped from her hand. "But Ethan said you did. He told me you were struggling financially and that the house had been sitting empty for months." There was another long silence. Then her father, Daniel Bennett, said something that made Olivia's stomach drop. "Your brother lied to you." Olivia stopped breathing for a moment. Her younger brother, Ethan Bennett, was 32 and worked as a real estate broker in New York. He had always been the confident one in the family, the son who could supposedly fix anything. For the past 3 months, Ethan had been telling Olivia that their father was having money problems. "Dad will never admit he needs help," Ethan had told her. "We need to do something before things get worse." Then he suggested selling the family's lake house in Michigan. Olivia had hesitated at first. That house wasn't just another property. It was where she had spent every summer of her childhood. It was where her mother, Grace Bennett, used to cook dinner on the back porch while Olivia and Ethan ran down to the lake. It was where Daniel continued spending Christmas every year after Grace passed. But Ethan had convinced her selling it was the only responsible thing to do. Now, for the first time, Olivia wondered if she had made the biggest mistake of her life. "Dad," she said carefully, "did you give Ethan power of attorney?" "For some of my banking matters, nothing involving the lake house." Olivia closed her eyes. Suddenly, dozens of little details began making sense. Ethan constantly calling her. Ethan insisting that certain papers needed to be signed quickly. Ethan telling her not to worry about the details. And one sentence he repeated several times. "Dad doesn't need to know everything right now. He'll get emotional." At the time, Olivia had believed he was trying to protect their father. Now those words sounded completely different. "Dad," she whispered, "what happens if the sale is already final?" "It isn't." "How do you know?" "Because I checked the property records this morning." Olivia's heart began racing. Then what did Ethan actually do? Daniel didn't answer immediately. Instead, he said, "I need you to drive me to the lake house." "Why?" "Because I think Ethan wasn't just trying to sell the property." Olivia swallowed. What else was he trying to do? Her father's voice dropped. "I don't know yet." A pause. "But whatever it is, I don't want Ethan knowing we're going there." That evening, Olivia picked up her father and started the 4-hour drive to Michigan. The rain followed them almost the entire way. Neither of them talked much. There was too much to process. By the time they reached the lake house, the sky had turned dark. The property looked exactly as Olivia remembered it. White wooden walls, a wide front porch, tall trees surrounding the house, and beyond them the dark, restless waters of Lake Michigan. Olivia stared at the small tree beside the porch. Her mother had planted it on Olivia's 10th birthday. For a moment, everything felt normal again. Then she noticed the front door. It was slightly open. Olivia stopped. "Dad?" Daniel looked up. "Did you leave the door unlocked?" "No." They exchanged a nervous glance. Daniel slowly stepped forward. "Stay behind me." They entered the house. The moment Olivia stepped inside, her stomach tightened. Drawers were open. Cabinet doors hung wide. Papers were scattered across the floor. Family photographs had been knocked from the walls. Someone had searched the place, and they had searched it carefully. Olivia whispered. Someone was looking for something. Daniel didn't answer. His eyes moved around the room. Then they stopped at the fireplace. He walked toward it and knelt down. After pressing against a section of the wooden panel, he pulled it loose. Behind it was a small hidden compartment. Olivia stared. "What is that?" Daniel opened it. Nothing. It was completely empty. His face suddenly changed. Olivia noticed immediately. What was supposed to be in there? Daniel stared at the empty compartment for several seconds. Then he finally said, "Your mother's journal." Olivia froze. "Mom's journal?" Daniel nodded. "She hid it there years ago." "Why?" Daniel looked at her daughter. "Because she didn't want anyone to find it." Olivia stepped closer. "What was in it?" Daniel looked away. "Things she discovered before she died." "Like what?" He didn't answer. "Dad, if someone broke into this house looking for Mom's journal, then I need to know what was in it." Daniel finally looked at her Lippard. His eyes were filled with something Olivia had never seen before. Fear. "Your mother believed someone in our family was hiding something." Olivia's voice became quiet. "Who?" Daniel looked toward the dark window. "I never knew for sure. But you have an idea." Daniel remained silent. Olivia took another step toward him. "Dad," he finally whispered. "Ethan." Olivia stared at him. "No. I hope I'm wrong. You think Ethan broke into this house?" "I think Ethan knows more than he's telling us." Before Olivia could respond, her phone buzzed. A message. From Ethan. She opened it. There was only one sentence. "Dad told you everything, didn't he?" Olivia's hands began to shake. She slowly turned toward her father. "How does he know we're here?" Daniel didn't answer. Olivia looked back at the message. Then another message appeared. "You should have stayed in Chicago." A cold chill moved through her body. Someone knew exactly where they were. Someone knew they had found the hidden compartment, and someone clearly didn't want them asking questions. Daniel looked at the phone. Then he quietly said, "Olivia." Olivia looked at him. "What?" His voice was barely a whisper. "We're not alone in this house." At that exact moment, a floorboard creaked upstairs. Olivia froze. Daniel slowly turned toward the staircase. Neither of them moved. Then another sound came from above. A door closing. Someone was upstairs, and whoever it was had been waiting for them to arrive.
Olivia stared at the staircase. For several seconds, neither she nor her father moved. Then Daniel whispered, "Stay behind me." He grabbed a flashlight and slowly climbed the stairs. Olivia followed closely, her heart pounding. The upstairs hallway was dark. One bedroom door stood open. It was her mother's old room. Olivia stepped inside and immediately noticed that one of the drawers had been pulled out. Inside was a small wooden box. She opened it. There were old photographs, her mother's silver necklace, and a sealed envelope with one word written across it: Olivia. Her hands trembled as she opened it. Inside was a handwritten note from Grace. "Olivia, if you're reading this, then something I feared has happened. Someone close to our family wants what belongs to us. Trust your father, but be careful who you trust after him. The lake house is worth much more than anyone knows." Olivia looked at Daniel. "What does Mom mean?" Daniel stared at the floor. "She knew someone had been trying to buy this property for years." "Who?" "A development company." "Why would they care so much about this old house?" Daniel hesitated. "They don't care about the house. They want the land." Before Olivia could ask another question, her phone buzzed. It was Ethan. "Stop digging into things you don't understand." Olivia immediately called him. "What did you do, Ethan?" "I don't know what you're talking about." "You lied about Dad giving you permission to sell the house." "I was trying to help Dad." "Then why is someone searching Mom's room?" Ethan went silent. Olivia's voice hardened. "Tell me the truth. You need to leave that house." "Why?" "Because it's not safe." "Who are you protecting?" Ethan hung up. Olivia stared at her phone. "He knows something," she said. Daniel nodded. "I've always suspected he did." Olivia returned to the living room and began searching every corner of the house. Then she noticed an old photograph hanging beside the front door. It showed Grace standing beside the lake. On the back, her mother had written, "When everything looks like a lie, look beneath the door." Olivia immediately removed the wooden threshold. Hidden underneath was a small USB drive. She connected it to her laptop. There was one video. Grace appeared on the screen. "If you're watching this, I'm probably gone. This house isn't just a house. It contains evidence that someone has spent years trying to erase." Olivia's eyes filled with tears. Grace continued, "Someone close to our family has been helping them." The video ended. Another file contained an old photograph. Grace, Daniel, and a young man Olivia had never seen before. But Daniel recognized him instantly. "Turn it off," he whispered. Olivia looked at him. "Who is he?" Daniel remained silent. She zoomed in. Then she realized who she was looking at. Marcus Reed, Ethan's current business partner. But the photograph was dated 1998. Olivia's voice shook. Why is Ethan's business partner standing beside Mom almost 30 years ago? Daniel finally answered. Because Marcus wasn't just Ethan's business partner. Olivia stared at him. Then who was he? Daniel looked toward the lake. "He was your mother's younger brother." Olivia froze. "My mom had a brother?" "Yes." "Why? Why didn't I know?" "Because Grace cut him out of her life." "Why?" Daniel took a deep breath. "Because of the land." Suddenly, a loud crash came from downstairs. They ran toward the living room. The back door was wide open. Wet footprints crossed the floor. Someone had entered the house. Olivia looked outside. A dark SUV disappeared down the road. Then she noticed an envelope lying beside the door. It was addressed to Daniel. Inside was an old photograph of 4 people: Grace, Daniel, Marcus, and another man. Olivia recognized him instantly. Henry Collins, her father's oldest friend. She looked at Daniel. Why was Henry there? Daniel's face went pale. Because he was there the night everything changed. Olivia's phone buzzed again. A message from Ethan appeared. "You should never have come." Olivia looked toward the dark lake. For the first time, she realized the truth was much bigger than a house. Someone had been hiding this secret for nearly 30 years, and now that Olivia had found it, someone was desperate to make sure she never discovered the rest. Olivia stared at the photograph of Henry Collins. "Dad, why was Henry with Mom and Marcus in 1998? Daniel told her the truth. In 1998, Grace discovered that a development company was using fraudulent documents to buy land along Lake Michigan. Grace found proof and refused to sell. Marcus, her brother, tried to pressure her. Henry was helping him. But what were they looking for? Olivia asked. Daniel pointed toward the floor. The original land agreement. That document gave the Bennett family permanent rights to a section of the shoreline. Grace had hidden the original document before Marcus and Henry came to the house that night. They never found it, Daniel said. Then where is it? Daniel looked at Olivia. Your mother never told me. Olivia understood why someone had searched the house. They weren't looking for money. They were looking for that document. The next morning, Olivia contacted Rachel Morgan. After reviewing the family trust, property records, Ethan's messages, and the USB files, Rachel discovered something important. The lake house had never belonged to Ethan personally. It was protected by the Bennett family trust. Ethan had no legal authority to sell it, Rachel said.
Olivia remembered her phone recordings. She played Ethan's conversation. His words revealed that he knew about the hidden documents and wanted Olivia to leave the property. Rachel looked at her. This is enough to prove he knew what he was doing. Within weeks, the attempted sale was stopped. The court ruled that Ethan had no authority to sell the lake house. Investigators also uncovered his communications with Marcus. Marcus and Ethan faced legal consequences. Henry was also questioned about his involvement, but the hardest moment came afterward. Ethan stood outside the courthouse. "I was desperate," Ethan told Olivia. "I didn't lose the house, Ethan. You lost your family." 6 months later, Olivia and Daniel sat together on the lake house porch. Olivia held her mother's journal. The final page said, "A home isn't valuable because of what it can be sold for. It's valuable because of the memories protected inside it." Daniel smiled through his tears. Olivia looked across the lake. Her mother had left them more than a house. She had left them the truth, and this time no one could sell it.